Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning, spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to explain a 2011 American science fiction and action movie called I Am Number 4. The movie begins with a man and his protector hiding in the middle of the forest. Suddenly, they are attacked by mysterious creatures. The boy, who is called Number 3, attempts to run away while being chased by the monster. However, he is caught by the Mogadorian commander, who takes his necklace and kills him on the spot. On the other side, John Smith, or Number 4, is enjoying his quality time with a hot woman in the ocean while his leg begins to glow, causing John to scream in agony. He also sees a vision of Number 3, who warns him of the incoming danger. People nearby, who see and record John acting strange, run away from there while insulting him as a freak. His protector, Henri, spots the wound on his leg and realizes that Number 3 has been killed. Because of that, he immediately brings John and moves away from a beachside bungalow, burning all their photos before they depart. On their way, John explains that he and 8 other gifted kids are aliens who escaped from the planet Lorien after their planet was invaded by the Mogadorians, or the Mogs, the bald aliens shown in the beginning of the movie, and Henri was assigned to protect him. Because the Mogadorians have to kill the kids in a sequence, the scars on his leg indicate that Number 1, 2, and 3 have been killed. Henri then gives John a new identity and orders him to stay out of sight. For safety purposes, they decide to move to an old house in Paradise, Ohio. There, he discovers a poster of a football player called Bernie Kosar. A small lizard secretly follows them to the house. Henri tries to delete John from social media completely so he cannot be traced by the Mogadorians. Suddenly, they hear a strange noise outside the house. Turns out that it is the lizard that has transformed into a dog. John decides to keep him and names him Bernie Kosar. Later that night, Henri silently hides a mysterious box inside a standing clock without John knowing. Meanwhile, Number 6 arrives at the bungalow but cannot find anyone or any traces about John. She decides to burn it down, and it seems like the girl is immune to fire. The following morning, John changes his mind and insists that he wants to go to school. Promised that he will keep a low profile, Henri gives him a phone and reluctantly allows him to go. While waiting for his school schedule, he spots Sarah, who is in the principal's room because she secretly took a picture of him in the class and is attracted to her. After that, the admin staff orders Sarah to take John to his locker. Not long after, Mark and his friends approach John and introduce themselves. As the bully walks away, John watches him slam a nerd boy, Sam, into the lockers and throw his skateboard away. He gives the skateboard away to the boy and befriends him. After school, John spots Sam getting bullied again by Mark. Infuriated, he grabs a football and throws it back to one of Mark's friends with enormous force, knocking him away. He then notices Sarah taking an interest in him, and she secretly takes pictures of him from a distance. Meanwhile, the Mogs come across the burned bungalow and discover that Number 4 is alive. That night, John discovers a website where Sarah stores all the pictures she took, including an album full of his pictures. However, Henri deliberately deletes all John's pictures from there as he wants to keep him invisible. The next day, while in class, John's palms begin to emit a very bright beam of light called lumen. Panicked, he runs to the janitor room and tries to kill the light. Henri realizes something as he sees the same light in the standing clock and immediately heads over to the school. He manages to calm him down, explaining that the glowing is the awakening of John's legacies. Upon arrival at the house, Henri tells John that he will grow stronger and faster, thus he needs to learn how to control it. Curious about the power, John sneaks out of his house and demonstrates his ability while the dog secretly observes him. On the other side, the Mogadorian commander buys all the food in the supermarket and feeds them to mysterious huge creatures. John surprisingly meets Sarah on the street and takes her for a walk where they spot Sam with his stepdad across the street. She invites him to have dinner at her house, where she introduces him to her family. Sarah's parents tell John that their daughter has put a lot of interest in photography and suggest they go to the night carnival in the city. After dinner, they go to Sarah's room, where John discovers Sarah's scrapbook, revealing that the girl doesn't like to be photographed. Unfortunately for John, Bernie suddenly shows up outside the house, constantly barking and forcing John to leave. The next day, Sam asks John about the incident in the classroom, but he refuses to answer. As Sam warns his friend to stay away from Sarah, pink paints that were previously planted by Mark explode from their lockers. John's palms begin to glow again, but luckily he manages to control his anger and walks away. While they are cleaning up in the bathroom, the nerd boy tells John about his real dad, who was obsessed with aliens and suddenly went missing. Sam claims that his father was abducted by aliens. Henri, who also did some research on Sam's dad, goes to an old factory where Sam's father did the experiments. There, he discovers mysterious signs on the column and a strange glowing rock, known as a locator, on the ground. During the Spring Scream Festival, Sarah admits that she and Mark used to be a couple, and Mark deliberately dumped all her secrets to others when they broke up. The pair then go on the haunted wagon ride through the woods. When they proceed to the next room, Hell's Gate, suddenly Mark and his friends attack them and begin to beat John up while the other friend kidnaps Sarah and brings her to Mark. John is forced to use his power while Sam secretly observes them. He eventually rescues Sarah and almost breaks Max's arm. John walks Sarah home and finally has the chance to kiss her. John realizes that he is getting stronger as he now manages to break the streetlight with his palm. He stops by Sam's house, where he reveals his true origins to him, proving that his dad was right all along. John warns him not to tell anyone about that because it may put him in danger, and Sam promises. The next day, a local sheriff who turns out to be Mark's dad shows up at John's house and interrogates him, accusing John of attacking his son yesterday, but John denies it, saying he didn't pay any attention. After he leaves, Henri is proud of John because he is getting used to the ability. Not long after, a footage of John screaming in agony in the ocean goes viral, and Henri suggests they leave immediately as he cannot erase it. John disobeys and refuses to leave because he has fallen in love with Sarah. He attacks his protector, and both of them engage in a short fight. A few moments later, Henri is kidnapped, and John is forced to go to a certain location to save his protector. With Sam's company, both of them go to the location. Upon arrival, John orders Sam to follow a man while he sneaks into the house, where he finds several newspapers of missing persons and eventually discovers Henri, who is being tied up. It is then revealed that the kidnappers are two conspiracy theorists who were sent by the Mogs. Suddenly, a Mogadorian blasts the door and attempts to attack them. Henri fights the alien while John and Sam escape from there. Sam loses the car key, and John uses his ability to power up the car. However, before departing, the alien shows up and manages to stab Henri in the chest. As they drive away, Henri hands over his special knife and the locator to John, revealing that Sam's dad has been using the rock to track the remaining Lorien's kids. Before he passes away, Henri orders John to find the other kids, as their combined powers would be enough to stop the Mogadorians. The aliens arrive at the conspiracy theorist's house and execute them with the killing device as they fail to capture John. Meanwhile, the Paradise Sheriff's Department has raided John's house and declares that he is a terrorist. Sarah becomes suspicious and even questions his boyfriend. While on their way, Sam reveals that he has another piece of the rock which his father found during the search for aliens in Mexico. John stops by Sarah's house to clarify things and say goodbye to her, while Sam suddenly finds Bernie, who helps him find the rock in his stash. However, the cops show up at the house and manage to corner John and Sarah on the roof. As Sarah stands up, she slips from the roof and falls down. Luckily, John manages to save her with his telekinesis power. He reveals his ability when he is forced to lift up the police cars with his telekinesis. The pair run away from the cops to their school. Meanwhile, the Mogs arrive in a convoy of trucks and confront Mark and his father. The commander threatens Mark to lead him to John. Outside, Sam informs his friend that the Mogs have surrounded the school. While the pair attempt to escape, suddenly number 6, named Jane, shows up with his special weapon and helps them fight the aliens. A battle ensues, and Jane successfully eliminates 2 aliens with her speed. Meanwhile, the Mogs unleash their flying lizard monsters, while Bernie suddenly transforms into a terrifying monster which frightens Sam. They eventually team up, but the monster engages and creates chaos inside the school. A wild Bernie shows up and helps John to fight the monster. After a long fight, Bernie successfully defeats the flying lizard, but he appears to be mortally wounded and eventually transforms back into the cute dog. On the other side, struggling, Jane asks John to recharge her with his lumen, and both of them continue to fight the Mogs, eventually managing to eliminate them. John, Jane, and Sam run to the football field where the commander and another monster have been waiting for them. With their power combined, Jane and John easily eliminate all the guards and almost kill the commander. However, Jane is caught by the monster, forcing John to help her with the lumen. The number 4 eventually manages to kill the commander, who dies in a large explosion. Thanks to Jane's fireproof power, both of them survive the explosion. The next day, they unite the Blue Rocks and successfully discover the location of the remaining Lorien's kids. Mark surprisingly shows up and hands over Henri's mysterious box to John. Sam is now part of the team, and John gives his last kiss to Sarah. At the end of the movie, an injured Bernie suddenly appears, and John, Sam, and Jane leave the city. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.